After reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, You Were Born Rich, Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, and 7 Strategies for Wealth and Happiness, none of those books talk about the importance of working a job. In fact, I have to start off by saying I actually love where I work. I work with some amazing people and we have so much fun at work and even outside of work. I'm beyond grateful for my job. I love it. And I never say I hate it because that's just not the case at all. But, and this is a big old BBL but, I hate working, period. I hate waking up early every morning, getting my 3 boys ready for school, rushing to get myself together, and then driving an hour to work. Sometimes I just don't feel like going. I need a mental rest day. And yes, I can always call out, but I'm just not that person. I only call out when I actually have an emergency or if I'm really sick. If I called out every time I just didn't feel like going in, that would be every single Monday and some Tuesdays through Fridays too. I also hate having to ask for permission to take time off. Even if my boss says yes every single time, that doesn't matter to me. I just hate the fact that I need to get approval. I don't remember who said it, but I saw a video where someone said, "Why do you get to tell me when I can go to Disney?" That hit hard because that's exactly how I feel. Why should I have to plan my life around the downtime of a company when I have my own personal priorities? And the fact that there are only 3 of us on my team, if someone else requests time off first, I can forget about taking time off even if I really need it, and I hate that. Another thing, I absolutely hate being told what to do and when to do it. I know how to prioritize my task. I know what needs to get done and by when, so I don't need someone hovering over me, micromanaging. It's like when I was a kid and my room would get messy. I knew I had to clean it, but the moment my mother walked in and told me to clean it, I didn't want to do it anymore. I was already about to clean it. Now here she comes being all demanding, and now I'm over it. It's the same energy at work. Now let's talk about pay for a second. The pay gap between senior management and the so-called lowest level employees is ridiculous. If senior management's job is so much more important, then they should be able to do my job too, right? But they can't. They need us more than they realize, so that pay gap needs to close up a whole lot more. But even with more money, that's not enough to keep me wanting to work for someone else. I want freedom. I want more time with my family. My boys have to go to before and after care, so they're in school longer than I'm at work, and that just doesn't sit right with me. Working 2 days a week from home doesn't help either, because when I'm home, I want to work on my stuff, not something that's just helping someone else make a bunch of money. That's time I could be using to build my own wealth, to help my family live the life we want to live, not just the life we're handed. I want to be able to take the same vacations as the people at the top of the company. I want to be able to live in the same type of houses they do. For all the time and energy I put into working for someone else, the reward just isn't big enough. My friend recently sent a text about how she got excited because it was Friday, but then she looked at the time and realized she still had the whole day left to work, and that took all the joy out of it. She said, "I don't know how I'll make it working another 30 years. And I said, "That's why I can't. And I won't." I get upset just thinking about doing it for one more day. I'm ready to quit now, but I have to be strategic about it. I'm not doing that without some money coming in first. I'm not about to be one of those people who quits with no plan. That's great for them, but that's not for me. When I quit, I want to be done with jobs for good. No more applying, no more interviews, just done. And that takes discipline, the number 1 skill for success. Right now, I'm working on that discipline. I'm sticking to my budget, sticking to my plan, and I know the results will come. We may feel like we don't have a choice because, let's face it, we need money to survive. But the truth is, we always have a choice in everything we do. We don't have to stay stuck. As Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. If you believe you can never work for yourself, then you're right. If you believe you can, you're right about that too. I know I can, and I know you can, but it takes work, and most importantly, it takes getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Choosing to believe in yourself and your abilities is the first step. The second step is action. It's not enough to just dream about the freedom we want. We have to put in the effort to create it. Yes, it's scary. And yes, there will be challenges, but every moment of discomfort is a step closer to the life we truly want. So don't let fear or self-doubt convince you that you're stuck. You have the power to rewrite your story, and it starts with the decision to bet on yourself. After reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, You Were Born Rich, Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, and 7 Strategies for Wealth and Happiness, none of those books talk about the importance of working a job. In fact, Chapter 6 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is Work to Learn, Don't Work for Money. I completely agree. We should be using jobs to learn skills that we can use to build our own empires. If you're like me and you hate working a job, don't just quit on impulse. It might feel good to walk out today, but trust me, watch this video before you do anything. I'll see you on the other side.